Album review, album review, album review. What the frick is up, guys? It's time to review another album. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm back, and today we're reviewing Glitterer's new album, Rationale. I have been waiting for this album for a while, and it's finally here, so it's finally time to give you guys some crazy details. But as always, before the video starts, please like and subscribe, and please click the notification bell. I'll put a picture of that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Click that, you'll be notified whenever I make a new video. Sorry for the lack of videos over the past couple days. I've been not burnt out, but I haven't been able to think of any new video ideas, and I've been brainstorming and I don't know what to make, the usual content creator stuff. But I have an album review right now, so let's do this video. For those of you who don't know Glitterer is like this melodic post-hardcore type of music. And for the people who don't know, I feel like everybody who watches this knows that Ned Russin, who is the singer of Glitterer, was in the band Title Fight. But I don't really want to just say that every time I talk about Glitterer, because I feel like it's just disrespectful, and I'll stop that now. That'll be the last time I ever mention Title Fight for now, unless news comes up. Glitterer is its own identity. The band is way different than the band Title Fight, and it's just two different worlds from what I'm listening to, from what I can hear. So within this band, you get a lot of loud vocals, a lot of beautiful background noises. It's not simple, it's actually quite the opposite. There's a lot of stuff going on, but everything that's going on feels like it's scratching my brain in the right places. I believe this is Glitterer's third album, and typically what I do whenever I do an album review, I don't really give scores out of 10, because I feel like that's just not a weird thing to do, but I just feel like that's not how I look at it. I'm pretty much going to tell you if it was good, mid, or... So you'll pretty much get the vibe whenever I talk about the songs, whenever I talk about this album in full length like I will in this video. I feel like I can confidently say that Rationale by Glitterer is my favorite album by them, and the reasoning for this is because it feels completely personal, and that's what I really love about Glitterer, because it's personal. Even when reading the song titles on this album, let me read them to you. They're kind of just like feeling emotions that everybody feels at some point. For example, I Want to Be Invisible. That's the first song. Can't Feel Anything, that's the fourth song. No One There is the 10th song, followed by My Lonely Lightning. There's a bunch of stuff on here that just feels like self-reflecting, and whenever you look into the lyrics like I did, which, you know, kind of had to, Ned Russin definitely lets you in his mind and definitely writes down these passages where it's like, okay, it sounds like whenever he's singing that there's a bunch of memories that he holds on to, and there's memories that he wants to forget, and just, I feel for this guy. I understand what he's going through. And what's cool to me is whenever I listen to the lyrics in the sorrow-like mood with the singing, at the same time, it still feels joyous, and it feels happy and hopeful for a brighter side. So I wouldn't look at this album at all as something that's really sad or just in that depressing mood setting. The whole album feels like it's just someone trying to be optimistic with a bunch of challenges and optimistic with their life. My favorite song on here is Can't Feel Anything, and man, I love that song. And with that song title, you pretty much know what's going to be said. My favorite parts from Glitterer is whenever Ned Russin sings in that softer tone, and he doesn't do it all the time, but whenever he does it, it's done in a great way. And the more I think about it, I'm like, dude, I don't think there's any band out right now that sounds like this. At least I can't think of any band that has these raspy and loud hardcore like vocals with pretty noises in the background. Glitterer does utilize a bunch of keyboard noises and just, you know, these video game-esque noises with the keyboard and guitar. So there's moments of stuff where it's like, man, I can hear this in like this 80s background noise, but this hardcore mellow and sounding vocals where it's like, it shouldn't mesh up this well, but it does, and they perfected it. I know they've always used like the keyboard and stuff for pretty background noises, but on this one, it feels a little bit more ambient, a little bit more lo-fi kinda, especially on the first song, I Want to Be Invisible. The way it starts out is just like, whoa, where are we? You know, it's kind of just this therapy like music, and then boom, distortion, loud bass, loud vocals. I think that was a great song to start off this whole album with. And what's cool about this album is that it's only 12 songs and it's only 21 minutes. 21 minutes isn't that long, obviously, and there's no boring moments to me, but that doesn't always happen, man. There's always bands that put out shorter projects, shorter albums, but sometimes it gets a little bit derivative, it gets a little bit repetitive and just not boring, but it's hard to make people pay attention the whole time. I did say that the album is very personal, and you can hear it with the lyrics like I said, and there's just a lot of insecurity in this album, but I don't think it's in any way annoying or cringe or just this, emo type of portrayal. I don't think this is something fake. I think this is something that the band feels, that Ned Russin feels, and it shows. Underrated lyricism within all these songs and this band as a whole. I know I'm focusing so much on the lyrics, but it's an album and there's words being spit out. I wasn't able to connect with any of the Glitterer albums in the beginning of their career up until their EP in 2022, Fantasy 4. And in that one, I still think is my favorite overall project by Glitterer because, like I said with this album, it's very personal and there's slower moments in there. There's some acoustic stuff. On that EP, he definitely improved in a lot of ways in terms of like constructing all the music and his lyricism, and it shows even on this Rationale album. The growth of this band is just mind-boggling to see, and I just love seeing bands making music, getting better with everything. There are a lot of bangers on here, but I won't say that it's a perfect album. There were some songs that weren't my favorite, and there's always going to be songs that you like less compared to the other songs. And the songs that I didn't really not enjoy, but they were my least favorite songs were the songs Big Winner and No One There. My favorite song, like I said, is Can't Feel Anything, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man, that song got me emotional, got me a little choked up. I was like, damn, I definitely related to that song, and I was just like, oh, they pulled out these emotions out of me, and I was like, thank you, Glitterer, really appreciate that. And that doesn't happen a lot to me with a lot of newer albums and newer music that comes out with a bunch of newer bands. I know that sounds a little bit whack, but I can't really think of a song that has really like choked me up. I know a lot of people already know this. I'm kind of repeating stuff that people already know, but music is so special. Music is everything. Music can give you a lot of emotions or help you out in different ways. I know music can make you take out your rage on things. Music can help you cry. Music can help you feel happy. Music can make you feel anything. And I feel like a lot of people should appreciate that more, A lot of people should be able to cry whenever they hear a song and they're like, damn, man, I feel that. Let me shed a gangster tear right now. But yeah, I'm kind of just babbling and wabbling about talking about emotions and stuff. My bad. The last song on here, Half Truth, is probably my second favorite song on here, and the reason for that is because I love the different, not stop start, but there were some moments where it was like, okay, say something, wait a little bit, boom, say it again. I guess that's start stop, but you know what I'm trying to say. My final thoughts on this album is that this album is good. Thumbs up from me, from Dubtoes. My favorite album by the band Glitterer by far, and yeah, lots of great lyricism, a lot more chemistry on here compared to their other stuff, and it was just fun, like I said, to see this band grow and in a bunch of different ways. The personal feel within the band is what I connect to the most, and I know a lot of people connect to as well. Throughout this whole video, I've been trying to think of another band that sounds like Glitterer, but I can't think of anybody, dude. I literally can't. And that's really hard to do, bruh. That's so hard to do in today's age where there's a bunch of, not copying bands, but there's a bunch of shoegaze, there's a bunch of indie rock that sounds a little bit similar, but it's not the same, obviously. I love how different Glitterer is, and there's a bunch of stuff I love about this band. This is a complete different vision from Ned Russin compared to when he was in the other band. Not saying Title Fight is garbage or anything, I hope none of you think that, but a different side of Ned Russin, a different side of this emotional, not damage, but emotional stages within his life and career where it's very soothing, very relatable, a lot of beautiful stories being told within these songs and this whole album, Rationale. This was a good time, and I hope you guys watch this album. I hope you guys listen to this album. I know you guys probably have. It's been released for like a couple weeks now, and yeah, shout out Glitterer. Good album, good band. Can't wait to see them live at some point in Northern California. Good to be back uploading stuff, and yeah, man, fun times. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry I've been gone for many days. I'll try to post more videos and be more consistent. I know I was only gone for like 4 days, but that's still a lot. And if you guys have any video ideas, please drop them down below in the comments. I know you guys like band interviews a lot, and I have band interviews lined up for this month. Actually, just one, and then one next month. It's going to be pretty wicked. I cannot wait for both of those, and then hopefully a couple more after that. So yeah, it's only a matter of time where I just upload all these band interviews and dive into these questions and into the brains of these bands. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. Glitterer. Rationale is fi.